Junk Doppel, aka Yusei deck, is a deck near and dear to my heart. An evolution of the Quick Draw Dandy deck from Edison format that have used Dandelion and Fluff tokens alongside Drill Warrior to recycle resources and control the tempo of the game. Junk Doppel takes the same concept of token abuse to the next level with the introduction of a new monster, Doppel Warrior. Being a Yusei monster, Doppel Warrior was made to perfectly synergize with the iconic Junk Synchron. Doppel Warrior has two effects. The first being that when a monster is special summoned from the grave, Doppel Warrior can special summon itself from the hand. The second being that when Doppel Warrior is used as material for a successful synchro summon, you can special summon 2 level 1 tokens to the field. Since Junk Synchron requires monsters engraved to activate its effect, in order to quickly fill the grave, the deck plays multiple monsters in packages focused on milling or sending a grave as cost. Card Trooper, a small Lightsworn package, and cards like Foolish Burial all help us dump cards from the main deck to our second main deck, the Graveyard. Additionally, cards like Quick Draw Synchron 1-for-1 allow us to dump level 2 or lower monsters from our hand to grave to ensure Junk Synchron has targets. A benefit to the light attribute of Lightsworn monsters and the dark attribute of Junk Synchron and Doppel Warrior is that we gain access to powerful Chaos monsters, BLS, and Chaos Sorcerer. Sorcerer being both a reliable way to out monsters like Stardust Dragon and a level 6 extender for synchro plays. Starting off our build, we have our Synchron lineup. 2 copies of Quick Draw, 3 copies of Junk Synchron, and 1 copy of Unknown Synchron. Quick Draw giving easy access to Junk Destroyer, Archer, Warrior, and Drill Warrior, while also giving us a way to dump monsters from hand to grave to set up a turn 1 Junk Synchron play. Junk Synchron, of course, being one half of the deck's namesake and our primary starter. Unknown being an easy to summon level 1 monster that we can search off tuning or 1-for-1. Joining our Synchrons is the second half of the deck's namesake, Doppel Warrior. The token advantage this card gives our synchro plays is incredible. Our next tuner takes advantage of how quickly we fill the grave in Plague Spreader Zombie. This card is almost always guaranteed to hit the grave, whether it be through a Lightsworn, a Card Trooper, a Charge, or a Foolish Burial. Our last 2 tuners, joined by Dandy and Lonefire, are Spore and Bull. Onto our main deck boss monsters, BLS, Dad, Gores, and Chaos Sorcerer. You could easily bump the Sorcerer count up to 2 or add a Kai's, but the deck is pretty tight and designed to go fast, so adding extras may lead to some clog. In the worst case scenario, we happen to mill one of them, that's why we have Drill Warrior and Pot of Avarice to recycle them. Up next is one of our MVPs in Sangan. It searches for almost everything in our deck outside of our boss monsters. Following up, we have 2 of our best graveyard users and Zephyros and Lev Leader. Both can summon themselves from the grave, triggering Doppel, and both give us access to very easy synchro plays. On to the speed of the deck, 2 copies of Card Trooper. Not only does this mill 3 cards, but it gives us an in-deck out to Thunder King. Rounding out our main monsters is our Lightsworns, 1 copy of Jane, 2 Lila, and 3 Raikou. Raikou being one of the best monsters in the deck and the format, Jane being an out to Thunder King, and Lila being a powerful back row removal. In addition to their own powerful effects, they also double as a way to speed through our deck and fill the grave. Onto our spells, we have 3 copies of Tuning, 1 Rhoda, and 1 Charge of Light Brigade, to provide us with all the search power we need and more. Joining them is a copy of 1-for-1 and Foolish to set up our grave and level 1 plays. Following them is our 3 power spells, Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, and Heavy Storm. The final card in our deck is Pot of Avarice, to recycle our milled cards and in some situations set up for Shooting Star Dragon. Onto our extra deck, we start off with Formula Synchron, which gives us access to not only Black Rose and Trishula on our opponent's turn, but also our big boss monsters in Shooting Star. Our only level 4 option of the format is Armory Arm. Our level 5 lineup takes up the majority of extra deck, Hyper Librarian, Junk Warrior, Catastor, and Frozen Fitzgerald, taking advantage of our Raikou. Our 2 level 6s are the generic Brio to clear for game and Drill Warrior to stall and recycle. Our level 7 lineup is the generic Black Rose Dragon and Junk Archer. Archer especially being useful to banish Xyz monsters and get rid of their material. Our level 8 lineup is Junk Destroyer, Road Warrior, and Stardust Dragon. Junk Destroyer to help us pop our opponent's monsters and clear the board, Road Warrior being a 3k beatstick that helps us search through our deck for more materials, and Stardust Dragon not only one of the best monsters of the game, but giving us access to our boss monster Shooting Star. Trishula, arguably the best synchro in the game, and our lone level 10, our boss monster Shooting Star Dragon. With built-in attack protection and destruction negation, this 33k beater is one hell of a force to deal with. Side deck wise, we stock up on traps and back removal. Other extra deck options to consider are cards like Orient Dragon, Ancient Fairy, Colossal Warrior, and other junk monsters like Garna and Berserker. This is by far my favorite deck of the format and what got me started in the game. Like always, if there are any questions or comments, leave them down below and I'll get to them. Until next time, peace.